So, does the Nick Chubb injury pretty much end the season for the Browns? Should Michael Parsons be a front runner for NFC Defensive Player of the Year? And how healthy can Joe Burrow be for next week? Well, we're going to try to find the answers to those questions and many more as we get you ready for week 3 of your fantasy league, as well as week 3 of the NFL. It's all coming up here on Fantasy Football Fever, starting right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, however you're watching. Thanks for joining us here. It's Fantasy Football Fever. It's Tuesday night, September 19th, 2023. Great to have you with us. My name is Sim McClellan. Over here is our good buddy Andrew St. Clair, our defending league champion. And of course, down here is our league commissioner, John Natale.
Hello, everybody.
John Flynn, the host of Hooked on Sports, he will be joining us just a little bit later. But we figured we'd just go ahead and get this show rolling here. So let's see here. Got a couple of questions. I got a question off the top of the head. For those of us who watched that Pittsburgh Cleveland game on Monday night, last night, that play at the end of the game, how is that not pass interference?
Which player are we referring to?
It was a play. I think it was like at the end of the game. Sean Watson, I think, threw a pass, or I can't remember who had the ball. But it seemed like somebody grabbed on the jersey of the receiver. Of course, they couldn't catch the ball, but there was no flag thrown.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the same situation that happened in the Broncos and Commanders game. Yeah, that when Russell Wilson threw a little heave ho at the end. They got the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion. That one was pretty controversial too. Pretty similar to that.
Yeah, just a little while before we went on the air, Andrew was mentioning the Denver-Washington game right there. So
yeah, some pretty similar situations there.
Yeah, I don't know how these calls don't get called. Reminds me of a few years ago, that NFC Championship game between the Rams and the Saints. That was blatant pass interference right there. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and get this ball rolling. So I will go ahead and share my screen. We will take a review of this past week. Oh, wait a minute, that's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for right here. Let's go ahead and get that screen going up here. It should be coming up here in a little bit. There it is. Just made a switch of internet services, but I think we're still working out the kinks in that. But anyway, here we go with our review of last week in our fantasy league. First of all, I think it was late Saturday night. I think it was Monday night that it was Sunday night or Monday night. I can't remember, but it went down to the wire between me and Adam Oliver, but I was able to get the victory over Adam, 158.72 to 155.9. My top players were Jalen Hurts with 22.22 points. Raheem Mostert did very well for me, more than I thought he'd do, 25.7. And the Tampa Bay defense was able to get me 23 points. Adam's big three were it's Tyler Lockett, Patrick Mahomes, and the Dallas defense. So that means both Adam and I both have 1-1 records after the first 2 weeks. And then we got a Chubbawamba.
Yeah, it's gonna be time for a name change now.
Yeah, I think so too. Although you did get the victory over Casey by a score of 122.54 to 115.74. Good numbers from TJ Hawkinson, Christian McCaffrey, and Justin Fields right there. T. Higgins got a KC 28.9 points. Kenneth Walker III had 18.4, and AJ Richardson got 17.74. But it seems like AJ Richardson got injured, or
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't know what happened though. I'm not too sure.
yeah. Yeah, hopefully he'll be okay for the Colts. The Beavis Blasters, that would be Flynn, right?
That's Dino.
Oh, that's Dino. Yeah, Dino taking down took down David in a pretty good battle right there, 164.5 to 117.2. Dino's big three was Mike Evans with 29.1 points. And then you got Robinson with 28.9 and Justin Herbert with 26.2. David's top three was CD Lamb at 25.3, Justin Jefferson at 24.9, and Amon-Ra St. Brown with 15.2. So that means both of those guys now sport 1-1 records after 2 weeks. And then you had, I guess you could say you had the Battle of the Horsemen. Had Lucas taking down Alex by a score of 157.32 to 131.52. Lucas had that big defense for Pittsburgh got him 31 fantasy points. Jared Goff got him 28.92, and Justin Connor with 16.6 points. And for Alex, he had Geno Smith giving him 27.12 points, Devontae Adams with 20.4, and Tony Pollard with a respectable 19.9 points. So that's how it went over there. Just got a message from Flynn. Audio quality is fantastic. Oh, well, thank you. I always want to try to put the best product out there for you people. Because we want to give you all the best show. Okay, who is that? Oh, we got someone coming in here. Oh, it was Donovan Peoples Jones. Was that the guy that was holding on the jersey? I'm not sure, but and oh, hey, Alex wants to send some greetings and salutations. Hey, Alex, how you doing? I'll be sure to catch him, of course, with me, Lucas, tomorrow night. 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on the A Pizzle 90 channel. And we got our favorite Bengals fan watching, Dashy Sports. Dashy, how you doing?
Hey, Dashy.
Hope Joe Burrow gets healthy. We're praying for him. Well, anyway, getting back to our fantasy recap. So we got Lucas with a record of 1-1, while Alex is 0-2. Not a good start there.
Yeah, he's the only winless one left.
Yeah.
I'm the only unbeaten left, and we play each other, so someone's streak is on the both of our streaks are on the line here.
Yeah. Then our champion Andrew took down Flynn's team 134.26 to 125.84. Mr. Williams got 29.0 points. Saquon Barkley got 27.2 before his slight injury. Hopefully he's not injured too bad. And
they're saying there's a slight chance. Yeah, they're saying he has a chance, but we'll see.
Okay, what's this from Dashy? Joe Burrow did not limp yesterday, and he didn't have a boot on his foot yesterday. So Okay, so I guess Burrow should be ready to go. That's good news. So Williams, Barkley, and McLaurin was Andrew's big three. Flynn's big three was Devontae Smith at 24.1. Cook at 19.9. And the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, got 16 points. So that's basically how we came out for last week. Now going into week 3, let's take a look at the matchups that we've got for this coming week. Yeah, it's Lucas against me. Right now, our projected totals, Lucas is at 139.8. I have 131.7. He has got Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins, and Jamar Chase as his projected leaders, while I've got Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and Kenny Pickett. And got got 3 quarterbacks on my team, but that might change. That might change a little bit. In fact, I actually put in a couple of trade requests, so just getting the waiver wires here. So that might change here in a day or so. The Beavis Blasters is going up against Adam. And right now, Adam has a slight edge over Dino. Right now, 143.8 to 134.9. Projected leaders for Dino will be Justin Herbert, Derrick Henry, and Debo Samuel. While Adam has Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, and Joe Mixon. Team Pizzle, that's Alex going against Chumbawamba. That's who's that again?
That's me, but the name will probably change soon because, of course, Chubb is out now.
Yeah, Chubba is out now. Yeah. So right now, here's a slight lead for Alex, 137.4, 135.7. So he's got projected leaders, Devontae Adams, Smith, and Tony Pollard. The tally has Christian McCaffrey, Justin Fields, and Calvin Ridley. Flynn has a matchup against KC, and Flynn has a projected edge right now, 150.3 to 137.3. Flynn's got Tyreek Hill, Trevor Lawrence, and Russell Wilson. Casey has Brock Purdy, Anthony Richardson, and Austin Eckler for his projected leaders. And then you got David against Andrew. And here's another slight edge right here. Andrew, 137.7. David at 134.6. Andrew has Tua Tagovailoa, Josh Allen, and Keenan Williams.
Yeah, I forgot how it's pronounced. Kylan, maybe? I forgot his first name.
Kyler. It's Kyler.
Kyler Williams. And David's big 3 right now would be Justin Jefferson, Deshaun Watson, and CeeDee Lamb. And what's this other? Let's see. Prayers up to Nick Chubb. Yes, definitely. Praying for you, Nick Chubb. Get well soon. Hopefully you'll be back in the lineup. But wait a minute. They say he may be out for the season.
Yeah, he already is out for the season.
He is out for the season.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
He's out. Yep. What was it? First
this was the same injury that he had when he played in Georgia, I think in 2015, 2016, something like that. So he hasn't had an injury like that since college.
I have to say this team, of course. Last week, Aaron Rodgers, the Jets here, he's out for the season due to injury, and now Nick Chubb. Does this mean there's going to be another big player who's going to be out for the season at the end of week 3? Who knows?
Yeah. What's really bizarre about this is both of these injuries were on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, both of those games is on Monday night.
And there's 2 Monday nights here next week.
Yeah.
Yep. Got another doubleheader. Will be we'll be covering those here in a little while. But first of all, little segment we started last week. I guess we'll get Flynn's opinions on this one, but I guess we could get in a tally right now. Time for a little segment that's going to kind of help you fantasy players out there. A little segment we like to call starters, sitters, and sleepers.
Oh shoot! I wasn't prepared for that. I forgot about that. I got to look at the schedule here, and that way I could pick and choose from there. Oh yeah, this time I'll limit it to one from each position, so that way.
Here we got hey Flynn. Of course he'll be joining us a little bit, but he said Kyron Williams was a stud at Notre Dame. Loved him there. No surprise he's doing well with the Rams. So I guess he would have Kyron Williams as one of the starters that you should consider.
Yeah, I got to check the schedule here. And basically, what we're not gonna state the obvious. Like, we're not gonna say people like Patrick Mahomes or Christian McCaffrey because they're must starts every week. So that's a given.
Yeah, so we're just going to go with some. We're just going to go with some guys that you might want to keep your eye on.
Yeah, your basics. Let me see.
But of course, with the Chubb injury, of course, that means all of you that have your Chubb, sorry, you're going to have to make some adjustments. But you got a couple of days, so
yeah. Well, I guess speaking of the Chubb, then I guess my must start is going to be the guy that filled in for him. I forgot what his first name was. Ford. That guy that took over. Ford. He had a monster game.
Oh yeah, he rushed for about $1.02.
Yeah, and I think he also had a one receiving touchdown. So I think he's gonna be a nice filler.
He'll be a
late flyer. So I think I'll make him my must start for the week. Let's see. Here's my must start receiver. This one is going to be a pretty crazy pick, but this guy was on my sit-em list last week, and boy, does he have me eating crow. The new guy, Puka something or other from the Rams.
Was that Hookah?
Puka Nuka or something?
Puka. Okay, Puka from the.
Yeah, he was he's a rookie. I think he put up like 25 fantasy points, I think, in week 1, 27 in week 2. Yeah, right now he's obviously stepping in as the number 1 receiver while Cooper's out. So he'll definitely be useful for another week or 2.
All right. So while Cooper Kupp is recovering, this guy, Puka, is going to be a nice fill-in. So
yeah, let's
think about picking him up on your fantasy leagues if he is available.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think right. Yeah. I think he increased. I think he had a 70% increase over the waiver wire recently. Okay. Paka Nakua. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Flynn wrote it down for us.
There we go. Paka Nakua.
Yeah. Yeah. He I think over the course of a week, he had a 70% increase on the waiver wire. And I think he's going to trend up. Yeah, so for that reason, I'm going to start him. I definitely blew it last week by saying sit him. I'm not going to blow it this time. I say start him.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't too prepared for this, so I'm just going through the schedule here.
Right.
Let's see. Based on the schedules, all right. I'm gonna break code a little bit here. I'm gonna do a tight end that's a kind of a must start every week. But that's going to be Travis Kelce. I mean, the Bears are struggling really bad. They're winless. I thought they were going to have a slight improvement, but apparently not. Kelce's back. He's fully healthy. He's a must start there.
Oh yeah. So when you got Mahomes and Kelce together, they're pretty unstoppable.
What is real something? Wait. Did I skip my quarterback? I don't think I said that yet, right? Did I?
Yeah, I think you failed to mention a quarterback. So it looks like.
Yeah, let's see. My must start quarterback this week. Let me take a look here. Why not? Let's make it interesting. Oh no, actually no, not him. Hold on. Oh, actually, this one's gonna be an interesting one. I'm gonna go with Kirk Cousins as my my starting quarterback for the week. The Chargers are playing far below expectations right now. I believe they're winless. Things aren't going right for them. I think the Vikings are winless too, if I'm not mistaken. Battle of the 0-2 teams. Somebody's got to get out of the hole. I think this is where Kirk Cousins does it. Him and Justin Jefferson have had a very nice connection. Him and Hawkinson, as long as the other receivers get involved, Vikings will get their first win.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see those guys get the connection again. And to my message, I got a message for the team.
No Chargers, no.
No Chargers, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they'll be able to get it, but
all right. Let's see. Defense. Let's see here.
Are we? Oh, speaking of defense.
Yep.
Are y'all ready to say that the Cowboys have the best defense in the league?
Yeah, there's certain no worse than 3, I would say.
No worse than 3, probably behind maybe Philadelphia and San Francisco.
Yeah. So let's see. My starting defense for the week is actually going to be the Jets. The Patriots are 0-2. That's their first one since 2001. They're definitely trending down right now. Despite the Jets losing some weapons on the offense, and Rodgers, they still look okay. I think Zach Wilson's going to get it together this week. And then the kicker, I'll just pick one at random. We'll just go with Mr. Automatic, Justin Tucker. The Colts haven't been playing that well, so pretty safe bet there with Tucker.
Yeah, Justin Tucker. Yeah, he's like the go-to kicker for any league.
All right, let's start now my my sit-ems this week. Let's see. Plus, see what Dash has to say. Yeah, plus the Bengals offensive line gave up 3 sacks on Joe Burrow this season. Oh yeah, it's definitely time for them. I think they'll step up this week. Let's see, who is my must sit quarterback this week is Josh Dobbs of the Cardinals. They're playing the Cowboys. You basically have one of the best teams in the league right now versus one of the worst teams in the league. So that's basically going to be a bloodbath right there.
Yeah.
I agree. My sit-em this week, I think, is going to be Khalil Herbert from the Bears. The Bears are struggling right now on both sides of the field, offense and defensively. Justin Fields is trying, but he can't seem to find the weapons that he needs right now. And I think it's only going to get worse. Unfortunately, Fields has been okay for me so far. Just everybody else hasn't done anything.
Right.
Let's see. My sit-em tight end, not because it's not that hasn't been bad. It's just he's never been targeted. And it's not his own fault. It's the quarterback that's doing it. But my sit, unfortunately, is Kyle Pitts. Not that he's doing anything wrong. It's just that he never gets targeted.
Andrew, it seems like those Falcons fans may have to put out an APB for Kyle Pitts, huh?
Indeed. But of course, who knows what it is each week for the Falcons fans, especially this week when they have to face the Lions here.
Facing the Lions. Yeah, the Lions have been pretty good so far. Yeah. Like I said, it's not that Kyle Pitts is bad. He just never gets targeted. I don't know why they don't throw him the ball. Yeah, but I'm saying, but if you have him, I would hold on to him for now just to see what happens. Hopefully he'll get targeted eventually. But
right.
I would say definitely target him. He's like a ghost out there. Throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Let's see. My sitting defense, let's see. Ooh, unfortunately, it pains me as a fan to say this. My sit-em defense this week is the Giants. Their defense has been pretty beat up. I mean, they've been taking quite a pounding. That 40-0 loss in week 1. They barely got by week 2. It's going to be tough for the Giants to play that 49ers offense.
I think probably the 3 bad defenses this week will be the Giants, the Bears, and the Cardinals.
As far as the kickers go, I don't really have one on hand, but let's see. This is a tough one. Let's see. And I'm just going to say whoever the Rams kicker is. I can't remember his name off the top of my head because I think that's going to be the lowest scoring game of the week. I don't anticipate a lot of points being scored. Well, wait. Oh, it's Matt Gay, right? No, hold on. What's his name? The Rams kicker.
I don't know. The only Rams kicker that I remember also kicked for the Cowboys after he left the Rams. That, of course, was Greg Zuerlein.
And it's Matt Gay.
Okay. Yeah, he'll be my pick for the week. Only because I think for some reason I anticipate this being a low scoring game.
Right.
Okay. Or Dashy's adding something here. Whoever is starting the Bengals defense needs to sit them this week. Couldn't stop a nosebleed last week. Yeah, that is a very good point.
Of course, Brett the Fred Maher.
Oh, it's Brett Maher. Okay.
Yeah, the former Cowboy that we got after we got rid of Greg Zuerlein.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be the odd man out here. It's a tough choice.
Matt Gay is with the Colts. Okay, so.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stick with the Rams. The Rams one as my sitter. For some reason, I anticipate this being a low scoring game. With like Burrow being kind of hurt and recovering.
Right.
Both teams are relatively struggling, so I see this as a very low scoring affair.
All right.
There we go. I wish I was a little bit more prepared, but yeah, I think next week I'll be more prepared.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Flynn has his list.
I don't know if he's got it on him right now because, of course, he's kind of watching it right now. Before, like I said, he'll be joining us here pretty soon. So, I don't know what I'll do here. Tell you what, let's what was I going to do? Let's go ahead and get into this week's matchups here in the NFL. Where is that page? Is that the one? No, it's the other one that I need to get.
You have those slides, like the team by team slide matchup?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, Mr. Flynn sent them to me earlier today, so I guess we'll take a look at the first matchup, which is Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. We got the New York Giants going to the Bay Area to take on the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And those pretty much are the projected starters and projected totals for fantasy numbers there.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised Gano is the worst ranked. I'm shocked by that. Well, I guess to be fair, they got 0 points in the first game.
Yeah. I think we lost Flynn. Oh.
No. Lost measure, but he's back.
Oh, he's.
We're all here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just the screen on there is a little shaky. That's all.
Right. Okay. So, you got Brock Purdy against Daniel Jones. What we got here? All the rankings are based on Yeah, based on 2023 so far, these fancy rankings that you lovely people are looking at. So we got to see the great receiver tandem of Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Both top 15, both getting respectable points there. Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins, both getting less than 10. Darren Waller is projected at 11.1. Then you got Daniel Jones projected to get 15.8, while Brock Purdy is 17.8. George Kittle, 49er tight end, he's projected at 11.1. But the big number here is Christian McCaffrey, run CMC for the Niners at 22.8 points against a very good Giants defense, which will probably be going to have to really beef up in order to contain him. So Natalie, these are your boys, so it's going to be a rough one, huh?
Yeah, everything. I mean, all these numbers here make sense. Yeah, I guess Eric Gray's gonna have to step in as the. Yeah, he could very well get his first official touch of his NFL career. He's been mainly I think the punt returner so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, now he's gonna have an expanded role for a bit.
Hey, what's up, LC?
What's up, Lucas?
Mo the Horseman, Lucas. Like I said, Lucas has a battle with Alex this coming week in our fantasy league, so y'all get ready for that. Of course, Lucas will be joining Alex and myself tomorrow night on the A Pizzle 90 channel. Good to have you here. Good you're watching there, LC. So it looks like it's going to be another rough time for the Giants against that very tough 49er defense. Moving right along here. Let's go ahead and talk about the Indianapolis Colts against the Baltimore Ravens. 1:00 start on Sunday. And Baltimore is picked by 8.5. Oh, by the way, San Francisco is picked by 10. This last I saw.
That's correct. San Francisco by 10.
Now I see in this matchup that Baltimore is picked by 8.5. And looking at the numbers right there, Anthony Richardson, of course, y'all see that Q by his name. He is questionable to start the game. He is projected at 19.2, while Lamar Jackson is projected at 20.8. Looking at some of the numbers, some of the big numbers here is Zach Moss, running back for the Colts, projected at 14. Then you got wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., projected at 15.7. Zay Flowers, a young rookie for the Ravens, projected at 11.6. Kind of near the bottom of the pack, but the season is still young, so I think this guy is definitely going to blossom. OBJ is questionable at 9 points projection. Tight end Mark Andrews for the Ravens is projected at 13.7. Almost middle of the road defense, special teams against a nice, respectable Colts defense, special teams there. I guess that 19 ranking for Justin Tucker seems a little bit deceiving to me because it seems like he's basically Mr. Automatic. Mm-hmm. And then you have that Matt Gay, the aforementioned Matt Gay for the Colts, projected at 7.5. So it looks like Baltimore may have to go through the air a few more times and run it, but we'll just have to see how that works. Next up on the list, we have another AFC. We have an AFC matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. Okay, it hasn't shown up on there yet.
Yeah, I see it on our end.
I see it too, and for this game, it's -3 for Cleveland.
Yeah. So I don't know. On my screen up there, I see the Colt. I still see the Colts and the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can read it off. Yeah, you want me to?
Okay.
I guess I can read off while it's loading for you. Then let's see. We'll start. Oh, we lost Tim for a second, but no, whoop, now it's spinning around again.
Yep, they'll be back. We're having some technical issues, folks. Our host here, Tim McConnell, will be back here in a few minutes here, folks. Please stand by.
Yep. And while we wait for Tim, if you guys have any fantasy questions, feel free to write them in the comments. And then once we see it, we'll get right back to you.
Well, Tim is coming back here shortly. I might as well do my little segment here while we wait here. As you can see, I said, "Come on, man!" It reminds me of shows in ESPN. I'm going to talk about a couple teams here, a couple players here specifically that happened here this past weekend here that I don't know what's going on here for some reason or another. First person we're talking about is Russell Wilson of Broncos. He's choked.
I have no idea what just happened right there.
And welcome back, Tim.
I mean, we just had our internet service changed earlier this morning. So I thought everything would be all right, but it looks like there may be a little hiccup here and there, although I don't know what's going on. But let me see if I can get everything back on track here.
You know, you left off on Titans and Browns.
Yeah, I remember we were there. So let's get that.
And then addressing the running back situation, there was an article released on NFL.com today that Kareem Hunt visited the Browns.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe a potential reunion could happen.
So it could happen. Jerome Ford, the guy filling in for Nick Chubb, he's projected at 13.9, which is respectable. Amari Cooper at 12.9, Elijah Moore at 10.6. And looking on the other side, Tannehill 13.3, down near the bottom of the quarterback rankings right there. Derrick Henry is scheduled to score 16.8. DeAndre Hopkins at 13.7. And
there's a shocker for me. Nick Folk is the number 2 kicker right now.
Kind of surprises me a little bit. Then you got Dustin Hopkins, the 8th ranked kicker in the league as far as fantasy is concerned. So might be another rough run for Tennessee going into Cleveland, because Cleveland looks like they got a little bit of mojo, and they got a backup running back who can definitely do some good in Nick Chubb's absence, but we'll keep our eyes on the Kareem Hunt situation. Oh, well, Flynn just gave us a little reason right here. 5 field goals in week 1 for Nick Foles.
5 field goals. That's a lot. That's a lot for a kicker in just one game. Because there's also 15 points.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, our kicker, I can't remember his name. His first name's Brandon. He was a former soccer player, played in the USFL, and the Cowboys signed him this year after we let go of Greg the Leg and after we let go of Brett Maher. So that's what goes here. Oh. Also, I couldn't believe when I did the great post that Hopkins had a 13.7 projection. Interesting.
I think Andy played with an ankle injury last week.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to see what happens here.
I decided to sit him last week, and yet I called him my secret weapon, and I sat him. Kind of an oxymoron, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, in this particular matchup, Cleveland's picked by 4.5. So just for information there. Next, we are going to Detroit, where the Falcons, Andrew's boys, will be having a big challenge against those Detroit Lions. Now, looking at the numbers here,
like for this game here is -3 for Detroit. According to FanDuel here, -3.
Yeah, and we have the kicker with the best name in the whole league, Younghoe Koo. Or as I like to call him, Younghoe Koo. Only 8.3 there against Riley Patterson, who is down near the bottom of the ranks. Falcons defense just a little bit better than the Lions in fantasy. Marvin Jones Jr., flex options, and Jonnu Smith for Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, I remember Jerry Jones wanted to draft him when the time was available, but decided to pass up on him because Atlanta just snatched him before he could. And Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, this is a good running back 10 right here. Bijan, 18.5. Tyler with 11.6. If Bijan Robinson keeps performing the way he does, I say he will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Quarterbacks. Almost even here. Jared Goff projected at 15.3 and Desmond Ridder at 14.3. So Lions defense is kind of low, and Falcons defense, special teams is kind of in the middle. So it's going to be very interesting. I guess it's going to have to rely on that tough Lions offense to take care of those Bengals. Next up, we're going to New Orleans and Green Bay. Oh yeah, Detroit is picked by 4.5 in that game. This game right now, as far as I know, this is almost a pick 'em because Green Bay is only picked by 1.5 in this one.
Pick by 2 according to Las Vegas.
According to Las Vegas, got 2. All right. Mm-hmm. Jordan Love. He's ranked number 2 in the league. Is number 2 among the quarterbacks in fantasy.
Yeah, I think he did put up, over 20 points, I believe, in his first 2 games.
Well, these guys running back Aaron Jones. He's got Christian Watson, who is questionable for this game. Hopefully, he'll be all right. Looking at Chris Olave and Michael Thomas for the Saints receivers, 15.4 and 13. Kendre Miller looks like he'll be in the running back 2 position, projected at 4.9, but because Jamal Williams is questionable, but projected at 11.3. Derek Carr near the bottom of the league right there in the rankings with 28. He's projected at 14.3. Looking at the kickers, Anders Carlson projected at 7.6, and Blake Group 7.4. So, yeah, both defense and special teams both projected to 5.4 apiece here. So if it's less than 3, I usually just go with the home team. But we'll have our picks and predictions for each one of the games coming up here in a little bit as we move on to what I believe is going to be another one of those one-sided affairs here. It's the Houston Texans against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jaguars are picked by 9.5 last I checked.
That's correct.
So you got the rookie C.J. Stroud against the young Trevor Lawrence. That will be an interesting matchup. Looking at the numbers here. Tank Dell, wide receiver for the Texans, a flex option at 10.4 projected fantasy points. Zay Jones at 10.1. Looks like Trevor Lawrence at projected 17.6, 14.2 for CJ Stroud. Looks like Travis Etienne is that he could run wild over those the Texans defense. Got him at 16.6. Calvin Ridley at 14.8. Christian Kirk at 10.4. The former Cowboy tight end Dalton Schultz is at 8.9, while Evan Ingram is 9.4. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a one-sided thing here. So, so that's how it looks over on that side. We got very interesting matchup here with the Denver Broncos traveling to Miami to take on the Detroit Lions. Got another of age versus experience right here. Tua Tagovailoa versus Russell Wilson.
Yeah, my 6.5 for Miami.
6.5. Yep, that's let's see here. Miami. Where is it? Denver, Miami. Yeah. Yeah, I got 7 points here. Miami is picked by. I say this one will be actually closer than what a lot of people think. We'll get to our prediction scores here in a little while. Raheem Mostert's been doing pretty good for the running game in Miami right there. And Tyreek Hill leading the way for those receivers. Predicted to go 22.
And no surprise there, he's number one.
Yeah, number one receiver in the league now. Then he got Jalen Waddle at 15.5. I think Jalen Waddle got a little bit shaken up over the last game, but I guess he pretty much came out with no serious injuries. I think he should be good to go. Looking at the Colts receivers, Jerry Jeudy ranked 103, but projected at 13.1. Cortland Sutton projected at 11.1. Got Javonte Williams running back for Denver at 14. So there's pretty much the matchups right there. And I've got a slight prediction for this one coming up a little bit later.
Before you go to the next one here, Tim, I want to mention about this one here specifically for the Broncos fan here. I am surprised that according to the channel tape, that Russell Wilson is ranked number 4. Look, I know the Browns been 0-2 here past couple of weeks, but finally he's finally woken up. Took him a year, but I am surprised him being that high. I personally think he should be, his rank should be lower than Tagovailoa. Maybe like number 8, not number 4.
So you say probably in the lower top 10, maybe?
Russell Wilson looks, I personally think Russell Wilson's rank is too high.
I'll just see what happens here. What time is it? It's 9:24 Central Time, so I think Flynn would be able to jump. He'll be jumping on here in a little while, and maybe he'll give a little explanation on how they have Russell Wilson ranked so high. So talk about that here in a little bit. Oh, Flynn just said so. Andrew, if I started Russell Wilson, I would have eaten you.
Oh, shut up!
He would have eaten you and beaten you.
Yeah, right. Whatever, Flynn. Whatever.
Oh, folks, this is the joy. This is like the joy and the pain of playing fantasy football. That's just one of the things here. Just friendly competition, a little trash talk here and there. Actually, we'll move on to this matchup here. We have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, this one was the most difficult game for me to pick.
Yeah, according to Vegas here, according to the pick sportsbook, this is a pick'em. While FanDuel has Vikings by only 1.5.
Vikings at 1.5. Oh, it must have changed because I was reading where the Chargers were picked by 1.5. So
this was too close to call. That's why that
right.
Says it's a pick'em. Go either way.
Because you got two great young quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins and Justin Herbert, going to be great. Alexander Madison, the running back for the Vikings, he is projected at 14.5, while Austin Eckler, 19.5. He is questionable. However, I really don't see there's going to be anything wrong with Eckler right there. He is one of the pretty good running back in the league.
He was out last week with an ankle injury.
Yeah, ankle injuries. Hopefully, the ankle is holding up just fine. Looking at the receivers now. Looking at the receivers, they're almost even as far as the points. A slight edge to, of course, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams tandem for the Chargers. Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, projected at 14.5, while Gerald Everett at 6.7. Both defenses and special teams kind of in the lower third of the league as far as fantasy numbers are concerned. Slight edge to the Vikings there, but we'll just see how things go right there. This next one here is we're going to go now to let me click on it again. This is the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Unfortunately, guys, I have to give this one the this is my garbage game of the week.
Garbage game of the week? What for?
Well, just for the reason, I mean, Zach Wilson, getting a little banged up, but he's projected 13.4. Mac Jones 13.3. Don't see much anything right here. And besides, I call it the garbage game of the week because if he even offered me to pay me money to watch this game, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you have a point there anyway. Wilson's bomb the ranks of the quarterback. So I know why I see you say this is not going to be a good one to watch at all.
No, it's just. I mean, but I'm looking at these numbers here, and looks like well, let's see here. Let me see. Last I checked, New England is picked by 2.5.
Look here. Yeah, New England's by 2.5.
So
Yep. Yeah, look, the only good thing about the Jets, according to this, is their defense. That's it.
Yeah, Jets have the 8th ranked defense among fantasy teams, compared to the Patriots defense, which is at 19.
Yeah, but other than that, you're absolutely right. I hate to say it, but they just stink.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Natalie?
Yeah, this one was kind of a coin flip game. This one could really go either way, but the Patriots are far worse right now.
Right. So that's pretty much, I'm going to call that my garbage game of the week right there. So moving on from here, we got one that could be kind of a one-sided affair. Buffalo Bills against the Washington Commanders. Bills are picked by 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Josh Allen and Sam Howell. Allen at 20.8 projected points, 15 for Howell. Then you got James Cook and Damian Harris, the running backs, 14.2 and 3.1 respectively. This great tandem of receivers, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. That's basically where the real that's the real meat and potatoes right there. When you get Josh Allen throwing to one of those guys, then you got their tight end Dalton Kincaid at 7.8. But then you got a flex option for Dawson Knox at 7.5. Then you have the other side, Terry McLaurin at 12.4. Then Brian Robinson, the running back, 12.8. And you have an upper tier defense. But the Commanders' defense is number 4, which is pretty good. Like I said, it was pretty much the Commanders' defense that pretty much helped them win the NFC East back in 2020, winning the division with a losing record. It's almost like nobody really wanted to win that division that year, but I still believe Washington could have their hands full with this Bills offense.
I think the Commanders are still high from being the Broncos here last week. They're still enjoying the moment here. So Washington might just be a sleeper.
Interesting. Sleeper team. So Yeah, all the other teams in the division, Cowboys, Giants, Philly, have a win at least. And so, yeah. So that team builds up the defense and kind of boosts the offense a little bit. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Washington could be a sleeper before this season's over. Next on the docket, we have the Carolina Panthers at Seattle Seahawks playing up in the Pacific Northwest. That game, Seattle is picked by 4.5.
5.5.
Oh, up to 5.5 now. So you got the other big rookie, Bryce Young, for the Panthers going against Geno Smith for the Seahawks. So I got the numbers here. Miles Sanders and Kenneth Walker III almost even for projected fantasy totals for rushing. Geno Smith projected at 16.5. Bryce Young 13.4. Another one of my favorite receiver tandems for Seattle, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett at 14.1 and 12.4 respectively. And looking at the defense, special teams, kind of on the lower half a little bit. Kickers, Eddie Pinheiro ranked number 12, while Jason Myers is at 23. So I believe this will be definitely might be an offensive game here, but I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to call this one, but I mean, I've already got my scores, but it go either way, as far as I'm concerned. And now we go. Now go. We're going to my game. Dallas Cowboys against the Arizona Cardinals. Last I checked, Cowboys are 12.5-point favorites.
Woof.
No, 12.5 according to FanDuel, but everyone else is it's only 12.
Okay. So Dallas is heavily favored in this one. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks here. Oh, I noticed a slight little error here. I think Flynn meant to rank Brandon Cooks at 111 and have a fantasy projection of 9.2.
Yes.
Whoop.
That's just a little glitch there. Just a little glitch.
That would be a lot of touchdowns.
If he was going to be 111 fantasy points right there, that would be something.
I think Flynn just did that just to make it happen.
All right. Okay. And look at this. It's number 2 kicker in the league, Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboys. Going against Matt Prater, that's ranked number 8. Cowboys have the top defense in fantasy. I guess number 4 defense in Arizona. Looking at Joshua Dobbs and Dak Prescott's numbers, 17.2 versus 11.0. Tony Pollard with 19.3, 13.5 for James Conner. CeeDee Lamb projected at 116.2 to 12. 16.2 versus 12.5 for Marquise Brown. But it's the Cowboys once again. That's probably definitely going to be the big factor in this game here. Coming up next, let me click on it again. I'm having issues. I may need to trade out this mouse for another one. This one here, unsurprisingly, is going to be my lock of the week.
Also a lopsided one.
also lopsided. Yeah, definitely. It's the Chicago Bears having to go to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the reigning, defending, undisputed champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. And actually, before we talk about that, we got to bring Mr. Flynn into the stage.
Nice.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is. So I've been I just got out of work and I was watching the podcast during some downtime. So I'm aware that you guys have some questions for me in terms of the rankings.
Indeed, I do.
Okay.
You mentioned this earlier here, but I'm going to go back here to the which one is it here? Denver Miami game here. You have Russell Wilson right now as a number 4 quarterback here, and Tagovailoa, I think I pronounced his name here, number 6. Why do you have Wilson at number 4? And when I think he is too high.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson put up a lot of points last week. Because last week he threw for 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he ran for 56 yards. So remember, rushing yards it's a tenth of a point per yard. So he got 5.6 yards alone by rushing, which is the exact same reason why, even though Daniel Jones had played hot potato with the football week 1, why he's ranked number 12 going into his matchup on Thursday night against San Francisco. So rushing yards are a big deal. Hence, why you see large numbers for Justin Fields, why you see large numbers for Lamar Jackson. So.
Yeah,
so that's a question there, but yes, this is fantasy football, but yes, Russell Wilson has crumpled when it mattered the most, obviously, and you can argue that about the defensive pass interference that wasn't called against Washington at the end, which I thought in real time it should have been called a defensive pass interference, but I digress. But Russ Wilson's been putting up a lot of numbers, so credit to him.
What about that non-pass interference call at the end of Cleveland and Pittsburgh?
I think that could have gone either way. Although the one in Washington Denver was far more egregiously missed than the one with Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to look at the tape of that again.
Yeah.
So
I think we left off on the last afternoon game, I believe.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, we're now.
The Buffalo Washington game.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, I think that's
Washington.
the one we just finished.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go to that one here. I'm surprised Washington beat the Broncos here last week, but I am surprised how good they've been here. Thank you. But it's not, their ranks here except for their second wide receiver here, Jahan
Dotson. Yeah.
Yep. Actually, the team's actually pretty good.
And there is a 2-word answer on why Washington's 2-0. 2-word answer.
Brian Robinson.
Eric Bieniemy. Imagine what Washington could have been if they had a brilliant offensive mind calling the plays the last 2 years. That there is a good chance that they would have beaten the Giants in that Sunday night game last year, probably would have made the playoffs over the Giants, and could have given the team like the Vikings a run for their money. So, Bieniemy was in the news during the training camp about how the players are not responding to him well, and why I was totally Team Eric Bieniemy because of the culture change that obviously was needed in Washington following the departure of Dan Snyder, who was so bad for Washington. It was so toxic, and they needed some sense of culture. So obviously the fan base is energized because of that, and they're even further energized that in a division that includes the Eagles and the Cowboys, Washington's also 2-0. So give Washington a lot of credit for that, and it shows that Sam Howell was fantastic. Because he threw for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the victory over Denver. He was terrific. Denver suddenly had no answers for him. Hence why you see why Denver was ranked number 27 in terms of defense/special teams. And yeah, the reason why I picked the Broncos to miss the playoffs, I thought I'm more concerned about the offense, but the defense is the biggest red flag of the team right now. They can't stop anybody in crunch time.
So
and especially in the fourth quarter. Especially in the fourth.
When it's crunch time and the game online, I guess you just can't trust them, huh?
Yeah, that's when the Broncos, I hate to say, they choke.
Yeah. Yeah,
cannot play with them. Cannot win with them.
Yeah, and I think George Payton is going to be fired if the Broncos. I know George Payton will be fired if the Broncos miss the playoffs. Yeah. Said the general manager.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Bears and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And this, of course, I've declared this my lock of the week.
Yeah,
Mahomes, number 5 ranked quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with that when I saw the rankings from ESPN this morning. Yeah, but I'm impressed that he's been able to do that with, despite having his top receiver ranked number 56 in the fantasy charts, Sky Moore, who by the way caught a touchdown. And I've been banging. If Patrick Mahomes if Sky Moore can continue to improve on his performance in week 2, he's going to prove my point at the point I had with him and the Kansas City Chiefs this whole offseason, that Mahomes can create monsters out of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Which is what Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay, which is what Tom Brady did in New England. Now we'll see what Mahomes can do in Kansas City.
Yeah, taking a look here, the defenses for the Bears and Chiefs. Chiefs a little bit better. Sky Moore, Chase Claypool, pretty good flex options if they're available.
Yeah, and the Bears the first 2 weeks faced Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield, and they still ranked number 30 on the defense/special teams. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, serious problem here. So, any other thoughts, anybody, on this one?
Yeah, that's pretty much what you said. It's going to be a pretty lopsided match.
Yeah, and Isaiah Pacheco looks like someone you need to start in fantasy this week, especially if the game script allows for the Chiefs to run the ball in the second half, which I'm shocked, which I'm disappointed that they're not doing, that they didn't do enough in week 1.
All right, so definitely Isaiah Pacheco could definitely be a starter. If he's out there and he's available, go grab
Unlikely.
him.
Unlikely.
Right. They got DJ Moore for 12.7 points. So
And I didn't understand the DJ Moore hype this offseason at all. That Bears fans were telling me he was going to be a top 20 receiver in the league. I didn't buy that at all.
I see why there. Then we got the Sunday night game. Got the Steelers coming off of their. Oh wow! What a game it was for the Steelers and the Browns last night. Now they're taking on another legendary AFC foe, Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, and this is not an automatic win for the Steelers though, because I think even though the Steelers, I mean, the fact that they won the game the way they did, and it showed how great it is for them to have a coach like Mike Tomlin. But boy, are there so much to clean up with Pittsburgh.
Still have their issues, and of course, Raiders are coming on okay. Let me see. Josh Jacobs down to number 29 among the running backs. It kind of gives me cause to pause.
Yeah, but he's still projected at 17 points. I mean, he's still the RB1, and if you can see the drastic drop off between Josh Jacobs and Amir Abdullah, that pretty much paints the picture about the confidence level in Josh Jacobs, even though his numbers the first 2 weeks have not been to his par. It's that made him so valuable for the Raiders last year.
And of course, I would love to see another connection or two between Kenny Pickett and George Pickens right here.
Oh, that was such a beautiful seam route that led to the touchdown. And nobody was going to stop Pickens.
Nobody.
I got lucky despite benching him.
I know you got lucky because your opponent scored the fewest points in the league.
Yeah.
Last week, which is why.
When Chubb went down, I was in trouble because he still had Harris.
Yeah.
Looking at the defenses, Steelers ranked number 3, very respectable. But the Raiders defense, different story. So, good.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not really a gimme for the Steelers, but you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, part of it was that the Raiders did play in Buffalo on Sunday, and they got spanked.
Right. So now they're back home at Allegiant Stadium.
But for their home opener.
Yeah, they'll be ready to face their home. And now for this, what's up, Andrew? You had something, bro?
I was going to say, but this one's on -1.5 for the Raiders. This one maybe I think President's going to be too close to call. I think it's going to end up being it will be started until like the last 2 minutes of the game.
I can see that.
And with that, guys, I'm gonna log out here for the night. Get some sleep.
All right, champ. Take care of yourself. Make the proper adjustments you need, and good luck to you, bro.
I'll send my PCIs tomorrow. Rest of you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Later.
Thanks, champ. Our champion riding off into the sunset here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention KC was picked by 12.5, and Dallas. I think Dallas was picked by 12, according to Andrew. This one here is almost a pick 'em. I've got Pittsburgh at 1.5. So
what was interesting was because when I last checked the Vegas odds before I sent them to you, so the spread went from Pittsburgh -1.5 to Vegas -1.5. So,
how interesting things have changed in 24 hours. For the second week in a row, we have not one but two Monday night games.
Yeah, and also speaking of Monday night, ABC announced that they're going to be adding 10 games for Monday Night Football to be simulcast on ESPN and ABC because of the writers' strike.
So that's
Yeah.
So great to
Yeah.
see Monday Night Football back on ABC for a little while.
Yeah, and people would think that that because Monday Night Football is no longer on ESPN, Dancing with the Stars would be shown on Mondays, but that got moved to Tuesdays. So I expect ABC to dominate the Monday and Tuesday night ratings shares on a weekly basis.
Wow. Boy. So the first matchup for Monday night we have here is the Philadelphia Eagles, otherwise known as the Philadelphia Chickens, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I believe this game, Eagles are picked by 6.5 in this one. And
it went down to 5.5 when I put the picks graphic together.
5.5. Okay, I got you. So Jalen Hurts against Baker Mayfield. Interesting matchup here. I will probably be more interested in the receiving core as far as both the Eagles and Bucks are concerned, with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown on the Philly side, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on the Tampa Bay side. And for some reason, I think I was going to drop Dallas Goedert from my fantasy team. I need just
no. Why would you do that, Tim?
That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of drop Dallas Goedert. It could be a big mistake. But if there's a chance that I could get him back, and that's a big if. I think I was looking at some other tight end. I can't remember who it was. So maybe Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys.
Yeah, he got his first NFL touchdown, I think, on or was it his first against the Jets? I know Schoonmaker scored his first for Dallas.
Oh, actually, Ferguson is a second-year player.
Yeah. Did he score any TDs last year?
Ferguson, he scored a few, not that much, but
all
a few.
All right.
I mean, you had Dalton Schultz started, but then you had like Jake Ferguson, and you had Peyton Hendershot, and of course Schultz now with Houston. So
got it.
So I guess according to Flynn, that mistake may come back to bite me. Looking at the numbers here, looks like pretty good projections for the Eagles players, and not too bad for Tampa Bay. 6.5 points favorites. The Eagles are, but that'll be an interesting matchup right there. And the second game for Monday night is going to be the Los Angeles Rams against the Cincinnati Bengals.
This one's my toilet bowl game.
Oh, this is your garbage game?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, this is the game where I have the lowest combined points.
Yeah, and Cincinnati I saw was picked by 6.5. Burrow questionable, but I think he should be okay. Matthew Stafford. There's that Puka Nacua.
Yeah, he's the one who made me eat crow. I said I put him as my sit-em last week.
Yeah, Puka Nacua.
And now he's my start of the week now.
Yeah, 15 catches at 447 yards last week against the 49ers.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I mean, how did McVay find him? I mean, nobody heard of Cooper Kupp until McVay employed him right away, and now same thing with Nakua. Just when you thought when So when the Seahawks fans, the 49ers fans had enough of Cooper Cup, well, they need wide receivers core would be shattered without Cooper Cup. Well, yeah, here's a new shiny toy for the Rams to play with.
Oh yeah.
And there's so I got Puka and Tutu.
Tutu, well,
interesting combination right there for the LA boys. Joe Burrow, almost at 20 projected. So it's Jamar Chase, best receiver on the team. T. Higgins, don't count him out. The defense and special teams almost even. The slight edge going to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So basically, those are the matchups, and
yeah, and a couple of other points with the Bengals. I mean, so you couldn't have started. The start could not have been more brutal for Jamar Chase to start because he only had 3 catches for in week 1, and then he didn't do much better in week 2, and that's a credit to the league because it seems to me that the league is figuring out if they can stop Cincinnati's wide receivers, that they can make it a lot easier for themselves, and that's what Cleveland picked up on. That's what the Ravens picked up on during film studies. So Zach Taylor needs to make some adjustments fast. I mean, we never really talked about Zach Taylor as much because all the talk in Cincinnati has been about the quarterback and the receivers.
Right.
Zach Taylor deserves some scrutiny for the Bengals 0-2 start. I mean, he can't be left off the hook here.
No. I keep an eye on him.
Why did I take these guys to win the Super Bowl? Not looking good.
No, not looking good too.
Yeah.
No, not really. So basically, those are the matchups. Now we go to our numbers.
All right, and to start it off, that week 2 back to reality. I do well against the spread, and the tally not so much, just like the old days. 6-9-1 against the spread for the tally. I went 10-5-1. Tim McClellan has a 2-game lead over me at the spread department, and 3 games ahead of 4 games ahead of the tally.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
So basically, we all have we have San Fran over the Giants. We got the Ravens over the Colts. Browns over the Titans. Flynn is the only one to take Atlanta on the road in Detroit.
Yep.
And I'm the only one that took the Packers over the Saints.
I mean, Jordan Love against that Saints defense, really? Anyway,
I digress. We have all of us going with Jacksonville over the Texans, although you and Natalie actually have Houston covering the spread.
yeah, I can't lay the points here because it's a divisional game, and the Jags have tended to underperform in divisional games, but although I do think that the Jaguars should be able to win this.
Right. Then we got we all got Miami over Denver. I got Denver covering the spread here, and I believe the tally does as well.
Yeah.
We all have Minnesota over Los Angeles Chargers. We got Jets over Patriots. Bills over Commanders convincingly, although Flynn has the Bills covering the spread.
So I have the Bills winning and the Commanders covering.
Oh, Bills winning, Commanders covering. Okay, I got you there. We all got Seattle over Carolina. We got Dallas over Arizona. Chiefs are my lock of the week. The tally has the Bears covering the spread, but the Chiefs getting the victory.
Correct.
And we have Flynn, the only one to pick Las Vegas over Pittsburgh. He is the only one to pick Tampa Bay over.
Yeah,
I was honestly tempted. I was tempted. I couldn't quite do it.
And Chairman, do you know what that means, right? Are you picking the Bucks?
Yeah,
upset special.
Yeah. Wow, that is a shocker. I will say
yes, and no, I want to give you some what led me to this, because if you objectively watch the Eagles through 2 weeks, if you objectively watch the Bucks through 2 weeks, something feels off with the Philadelphia Eagles and particularly their passing game. So and the match and what Tampa Bay's strength is stopping the run, which is Philly's strength running the football, whether it's DeAndre Swift or a Boston Scott or Kenneth Gainwell at times, but Tampa's got keyed into stopping the run. So Todd Bowles knows, and this was what the game plan was when the Bucks last won a playoff game, which was that wild card game against the Eagles a couple years ago. So Todd Bowles is going to make Jalen Hurts win the game through the air, and Jalen Hurts through the air doesn't look as sharp as he did last year at all with the passing game. And the Bucks, they've played inspiring football with Baker Mayfield. I have to give him a lot of credit for how he has performed. I mean, Mike Evans has been terrific. The defense, but people forget that a lot of these players that Brady fans remember from his time with the Bucks, many of them are still there. When you look at the defense, particularly the secondary, looking at Antoine Winfield, I'm looking at Levante David, I'm looking at that defensive line, looking at Tristan Wirfs on that offensive line. So many of those guys are still there, and this was a team that made the playoffs each of the last 3 years. So that's why I picked the Bucks in an upset. Also, reason why I separated from Tim and Natalia for picking the Raiders was because I felt the Steelers should not have won that game. I thought Cleveland dominated Pittsburgh, except for the pick six and the strip sack by Alex Highsmith, which was recovered by T.J. Watt, who ran it in for a touchdown. Both of those plays needed to happen for the Steelers to win. If not, the Steelers start 0-2, and I don't know how much they'll be able to clean up on a short week. Now, I understand it's Mike Tomlin against Josh McDaniels, but also my pick against the Steelers is reflective of my feelings on Matt Canada, who has no idea what the hell he's doing calling the plays. I mean, he should have been fired last year after the Steelers missed the playoffs. It's how I feel about the Steelers offense. Well, when Najee Harris is basically Zeke Elliott 2.0 in terms of career progression. I mean, Jaylen Warren over Najee Harris is basically the exact same thing as Tony Pollard over Ezekiel Elliott at this time last year for Dallas, and Najee Harris is probably going to be run out of Pittsburgh over the next year or so. And it's also how I feel about the secondary without Micah Fitzpatrick, because it was the same play that Chubb got hurt on, but after that, Cleveland was able to throw the ball up and down the field at will against Pittsburgh. So Amari Cooper made some really tough clutch plays. He wasn't sure. It wasn't. We didn't know that he was going to play until the active inactive sheet came out, and Amari Cooper was listed as active. So I'm feeling the Raiders. I think the way the Raiders play I mean, is more of a game manager type of game, which is what I think you need to do successfully in order to beat Pittsburgh. And as low as I've been on the Raiders all year, and remember when we looked at the schedules over the summer, and we looked at the AFC North schedule, when we looked at the AFC West schedules, I circled that game as a win for the Raiders. And now it's coming up on Sunday, and I picked the Raiders.
All right, so and we also see that Flynn is the only one picking the Rams over the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Joe Burrow's not 100%, guys. That's why I'm picking the Rams. And also Sean McVay against Zach Taylor is not a fair fight. So that's why so I'm picking the Bengals to go to 0-3.
Ouch.
Yeah, this is why I made the score very low. I'm not expecting much from either team.
It's 17-14. I mean, have you seen Mac Jones and Zach Wilson play over the first 2 weeks? I mean that's why I have 13-7. With that game, and I was thinking, I was tempted to pick New England because Zach Wilson is terrible at completing the forward pass. But the Patriots receivers have been atrocious. I mean, them going up against Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, and the offensive line has been a disaster too. I mean, Mac Jones has looked fine to me. I mean, I think he's looked really good, but the way the receivers are dropping passes, not making the catches that NFL receivers should be able to make. Because the thing I saw from the Patriots was that they had one of the slowest wide receiver rooms in the NFL, and it's showing exactly why through 2 weeks. So that they starting 0-2 at home.
Right. So, well, that's our look at week 2 for our fantasy league and for the National Football League. We are getting into the latter part of September. The weather is going to get a little bit cooler, but the action is going to keep getting hotter. So, hey, y'all, don't forget, Hooked on Sports has got 2 podcasts a week now during the NFL season.
And also make sure to follow my podcast on Instagram at Hooked_on_sports. I had a post go up on Instagram this morning. I have another one going up on Instagram tomorrow. Because my post today was about the Steelers and the genius of Mike Tomlin. The ones tomorrow are about the Bears and the Chargers and Matt Eberflus is probably going to get fired if the Bears don't make the playoffs. I mean, we spent so much time on the coaches and the hot seats. And what were 2 of the names we all thought of? We all thought of Matt Eberflus. We all thought of Brandon Staley. And look, at both of those teams are 0-2.
Yeah. Yeah, even making the playoffs. I don't know.
Playoffs? Don't talk about
and do you know what else deserves a lot of scrutiny? Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields has not looked good to start.
Yeah, Justin Fields, young guy. I mean, I'm bad for the guy, you know.
But the thing you need to have in the NFL in order to be a good quarterback that can get paid $25 million a year, is that you need to have some sort of awareness in the pocket, and Justin Fields just doesn't have any of that. And also, what the Bears are trying to do is that they're trying to make him throw more, rather than run for 1,100 yards a season. Which is pissing off a lot of Justin Fields fantasy owners, because the reason why Justin Fields helped a lot of his fantasy owners get to the playoffs was because he was able to run the football. But
I'm gonna be patient with him for now. I'm the one who has him.
Yes, I mean, so it's his schedule. He's got Kansas City. He's got Denver next week. I mean, in theory, especially now that the Broncos have a lot of problems on defense, so those should be favorable matchups. And in theory, the Bears should beat the Broncos next week.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, if Fields looks bad against the Broncos or doesn't even put up a fight with Patrick Mahomes, mind you, a Patrick Mahomes offense that does look a little vulnerable. So I mean, and also another thing too about this is we forgot to talk about this with the Raiders and the Chiefs. With the Bears and the Chiefs. Matt Nagy against his former team. The Matt Nagy revenge game potentially.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be patient with him for now, so we'll see. I mean, I'll admit I may be the only unbeaten person left, but I've been lucky both times.
Yeah,
both times I was the lowest scoring winner both times.
Yeah, no, I know.
And what's really peculiar, I'm the last unbeaten one. Putnam is the only winless one, and we're playing each other.
Yeah.
So
my other league is a 12-team league, and my team has started 2-0. I'm the only, out of the 12 teams, I'm the only one that's unbeaten. However, I might add, I lost 2 of my 3 running backs to injuries: Saquon Barkley and David Montgomery for the Lions, and now I'm going to be pissed if the Lions figured out that Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy to get the bulk of the carries for the Lions, and because that means he's going to be on my bench until he gets hurt.
Right.
And then you also factor in with bye weeks coming up in a couple of weeks, and Saquon Barkley is likely going to be out for 3 weeks. I have no idea why Dable said that Barkley might be available for the Thursday night game, especially with the way he walked off.
He's just saying that to get the fans hyped up.
Yeah, but realistically, but sometimes you got to be realistic though, because with things, so that's sometimes you need to be out of a bubble of alternative reality.
Yeah, well.
So.
Plus, it's a 3-day span. He's not 4-day span. He's not going to be ready.
Yeah, it's just a short week too, which is why the Giants going down 20-0 was a big deal, because you had to play Saquon for all those drives.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, but I mean, credit the Giants; they were able to pull off their largest comeback victory since the Truman administration. That when the Giants last won a game when chilling by 20 points or more, Harry Truman was president.
Oh my goodness.
1950.
Going back a ways.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot to think about for this next coming week here. A lot of decisions we got to make for our fantasy teams. I'm sure a lot of y'all have some out there. So
I got some homework to do since I lost one of my guys. I'll have to do a whole new name change now.
Yeah, Jay, you lost Chubb too. Oh my God.
Yeah, so now I'm in deep doo doo.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I regret not drafting Tony Pollard in my other league, because I knew that it was going to bite me in the ass at one point. I didn't think it was gonna happen until it happened this early. But again, I have CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, and DK Metcalf in my other league, so I'm hoping. The best trio, one of the best trios of wide receivers in all of fantasy football, or anywhere, will carry me to a win. I'm fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that the Falcons actually target Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts is the guy I'm going to for the foreseeable future, because the tight ends were taken ahead of me. When you look at the Mark Andrewses, when you look at the Travis Kelce's, when you look at the Darren Wallers. I mean, I knew Waller was going to go early because I know there are a couple of Giants fans as well in my other league, but I digress.
Right.
Trying not to. I know one of them trying to be.
Well, I guess we just had a really good package of a show tonight. It was really good. We got some really good matchups for our fantasy league. We got good matchups in the NFL for week 3. So
Yep.
This thing's just gonna start. We still got a long ways to go, but we'll be right along with y'all every step of the way.
Yep.
But just remember what the coach always says.
Hello, you play to win the game.
Always remember that. Always remember that, folks. That's what you do. So, with that, I think we will put a bow on this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Thanks so much for joining us. Y'all be sure to listen to Hooked on Sports with John Flynn. And remember, he's got his Instagram. He's got it on his Instagram now. So there's another outlet.
Yeah, hooked_on sports is what you need for Instagram.
Hooked_on sports.
Yeah, and I'm also on Threads too. You can take a look at Threads too, whatever that is.
Oh, Threads. Okay. So thanks to our good friend John Flynn. Thanks to our commissioner John Natale.
Of course.
And of course, thanks to our defending league champion Andrew St. Clair for joining us earlier in the show. We will be back here. Oh, yes, we do want to let you know we're moving. We've moved the show 1 hour earlier, so it's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. A little bit more convenience for me, hopefully for all of you as well. So we will reconvene here 7 days from now, same time, same place. So on behalf of John Natale and John Flynn, my name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy the games. God bless you. As always, be a good sport. See you.